I'll try. Okay, no. Okay. Yeah, Faye, 5, it is the perfect number for pyramids, to be fair. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so...
You fucking love pyramids.
I do, I am a big fan.
Everyone up north is like, pyramids are such a thing. Down south,
you get a pyramid.
That is so true.
Pyramids is like, what the fuck are you doing now? Get up off the floor.
I had the exact thing. I went to go see it. It wasn't you guys, but it was like a proper like riot girl band. And I think it was in Bristol. And I did, you know, when you do like the triangle, when you go like that. Yeah. And everyone thought I was just making the vagina symbol. And I was just like, guys, come on. Like, I mean, I'm all about vaginas, but also like, you know, pyramids, guys. It was, yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I've noticed that as well. But I think, yeah, up north, we love a good pyramid. But, no, mate, no, it's all good. Don't worry. So, yeah, anyway, menstrual cramps. Hello, lovely people. Yeah. Well done. You guys had an amazing set. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely smashed it at Toxic Wotsit this year. But since the last time the MPRV did an interview, we have new members. So, hello, Sam and Abby. Hi.
You're right.
So, how have you guys found joining menstrual cramps?
It's been really fun. It's like very like thrown in at the deep end, because obviously like menstrual cramps are so well established anyway. It was kind of like, okay, so like let's have some practices, and like, okay, now we're gonna like do a bunch of like headline festivals, and now we're doing festival season, and now we're gonna spend like 4 days in a tent like every weekend. But it's been very intense, but it's been really fun. It's been really good, yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Have you had a good time, Abby?
I've had a great time, yeah, it's been great.
Oh, amazing, that's really good. And just, yeah, Sam as well, because you're a mask presenting person,
Yes.
a man, you might say. Some may say. So how have you found being in like kind of feminist, like riot girl band, being a man?
I've found it really good, to be honest. I think initially I was like very aware that obviously I was like a masculine like male presenting person, not masculine, male presenting person.
Very different things.
I was very aware that obviously as like a guy coming into like all female and female presenting band, I was like, I'm not the sort of person to like throw my weight around anyway, but I was very aware that I didn't want to kind of like the band have a thing that they stand for, and I was very aware that I was just like, I'm going to come along, play some music and like just help the band kind of say what they've always been saying anyway. So I've found like everyone's been super welcoming, and it's just been like a really good time. I found it's been really good. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's quite good to show that. I mean, I don't know if anyone disagrees, but that Riot Girl and feminist movements aren't a all-woman kind of thing. You know, it's about just basically anti-dickhead rule, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Fun fact, our first ever drummer was a guy called Dan from Brazil. Wow. So that's actually the first ever drummer of Menstrual Cramps.
Yeah, sick. Like, it's, yeah. And it really shows that it's not about anti-men.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I think which a lot of people thought like, oh, you hate men, and we were like, we don't hate men. Who said that?
Yeah.
None of us have ever said that. But people just assume, and it's kind of like you need a man there to almost go, oh, maybe I will take them seriously.
Yeah.
If this guy agrees, maybe they're okay.
yeah, we can use it to our advantage, basically. It's the thing is, it's like, well, certain men should stop upholding the stereotype of being wankers, basically, is what I think.
We say, like, we don't hate men, but we hate, like, the man, capital M, you know, like the systematic man, you know. Not every single male human person.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
Yeah. And yeah, I hear there is there is talk of a new album. Anything you can share, perhaps, maybe?
well, so at the moment we're performing in our set list 2 new songs, which will be on the album. So Abortion and Body Politics. They're the only 2 songs we've got right now. We have like music and we have lyrics and stuff, but because we've been so busy, we just come back in March, and then it was like back to back. So in like now it's like autumn, winter. That's when we're gonna like work on a new album, and then hopefully have it out by spring, maybe. Wow. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, cool. Nice, man. That's really exciting. And it sounds like you guys, you mentioned a little bit before, but you had quite a busy summer. So any kind of highlights or any shit bits that you want to share? Or good bits, shit bits, whatever?
I think Greenbelt that we played was like a highlight, which surprisingly was like a Christian festival, and we were like,
No
what's
way.
gonna happen? We don't,
Wow.
Did they actually listen to us before they booked us? And you know, and we were obviously, Amelia was like, I don't know how you feel about masturbation, and then someone was like, God is love, and it's like,
yeah, they were like, God is love, and love yourself. Self-love is God. We were like, okay, everyone.
yeah. And the like rider was popping, and they like took us to the stage. They took
Still
us.
getting through that right.
Oh, really? What was on the rider?
What was it like?
For it. They just gave us
A
loads.
whole car.
It's like vegan chocolate bars, like loads of crisps, loads of like canned drinks, blueberries, the fucking fruit and shit.
Lemons.
Yeah, lemons.
A bottle of Jack Daniels, a bottle of vodka. We were just like, damn. We were like,
wanted.
like
It was there.
yeah, there was lemon, ginger. Like, what do
Yeah,
you want?
yeah,
We were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa, okay, this is great. Christian's down with it. And then yeah, afterwards there's a guy, like, you know, I don't know, in it, middle-aged dudes, yeah, and he's like, I'm a minister, and I just want to say I agree with everything you said. We were like,
Wow,
whoa, progressive,
wow.
yeah.
God, that's amazing. Wow, that sounds really good.
They were like, oh, I said something in the crowd. I was like, I don't know, something about abortion or something. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but I just don't know any Christians in my real life. So I don't know how you feel about this. And then someone shouted out, like, we're anarchist Christians. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that. Like, woo.
That's mad. Where is that festival?
Where was it?
Kettering.
Kettering.
I've
Yeah,
never
it
heard
was
of
like
that.
a little bit, what was it? A little bit north of Shambhala. So we went to Shambhala and then we went up to Greenbelt and did that. And then we were like, damn, Greenbelt, have us back, have us back, we'll come back, we'll come back.
In it.
Chill. And they had loads of LGBT stuff. So that was like great. Like I feel like they were trying real hard.
Yeah.
Down the low point of this summer, Boomtown, 36
Mate,
sorry.
mate.
I'm sorry.
In
We were
it.
dead.
No,
Like
Boomtown was awful, and I was not okay. I was not okay. I was not
Amelia was
okay.
throwing up before
I was
I
like
said,
throwing
like,
up. I was like crying. I was like, I literally can't deal with this. And even Shambhala, I was like throwing up. I went on stage, and they put like a bowl next to the stage, like, and I was like throwing up, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I've just thrown up over there. And they like put like a table over the top of it,
Nice.
and then like put a bowl next to me. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Boomtown was like 35 degrees and it was so dusty. It was like, it was just like intense. And Boomtown as a festival is intense anyway, let alone with like intense heat. Intense.
intense.
Literally.
I was there as well, and I think I ended up missing because I was supposed to come on stage with you guys. That was the thing, because I was working with Cute Cartel, and like honestly, mate, the fuck ups that occurred with the heat and the organisation, like it was a really difficult festival. Like I can completely empathise.
Mad. It was so mad. But I will say Shambhala is like my favourite festival ever. I love Shambhala. Rebel Soul. Shout out. It's my favourite tent.
It's very wholesome, isn't it? Very wholesome.
And all the talks, everything they do is like super radical, like super on it, like, yeah, and I bought like 4 books. I just love Rebel Soul.
Amazing. In it. Oh, well, that's so good. And have you, how have you guys found, like, post-COVID and post-lockdown, any kind of differences since, you know, we've all gone through that in kind of gigs? Yeah, have you found any differences?
I mean, I definitely use my own mic now.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of like a general consensus. Like, you know, if you go into a venue and loads of people are wearing masks, then I will definitely try and wear a mask because I feel like, okay, these people are not feeling the vibe. That is totally fine. I'm down with that. Even though you're like, I don't want to wear this ever again in my life. But I think being on stage, it's different because like you can't see as much and you can't control the crowd. Like everyone's just gonna have their own vibes. But yeah, definitely sometimes you go in and you just kind of read the room and you're like, okay, everyone wants their personal space. That's chill. Like we can do that. And yeah, like we've had to split the crowd. Like, okay, these people want to mosh and these people just want to chill. Like,
Yeah. Split them in half. And I think that's difficult as well. Like, I don't know. I feel like since COVID, it's sort of like gone back exactly the same, like in terms of like the amount of gigs we're playing, festivals, and like getting booked and stuff, and like the general vibe at festivals and gigs. But then yeah, sometimes it's like, I don't know, you have to like read the room, like you were saying, and be like, okay, so everyone needs to respect everyone. You know, this is what it's about. Like someone's wearing a mask, and it's like, okay, everyone should wear a mask then. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
It's just about being respectful to what people want. That's basically it. I mean, I found it quite strange when I've been like a punter at gigs, because it's been a bit like, it kind of feels sometimes like people have forgotten how to behave. It's like people have forgotten about certain things, not necessarily being, you know, dead lechy or gropey, but it's like sometimes like, do you remember how to talk to people? And like, do you remember how to act at gigs? It's like, it's been really, really weird. Like, there's been a couple of gigs where it's been like, oh my god, this is like the effect of being inside for 2 fucking years. Like, you guys need to be a bit more socialised, you know what I mean?
Also, you've got those 18-year-olds that missed 2 years, and they just don't know what's going on. They're like drinking, they're just like crazy, and everyone's like, whoa, like, you need to calm down. You know, it's kind of like they missed that whole kind of like warming up period and just got like thrown in the deep end. I think Boomtown was a bit like that. You're just like, whoa, everyone is like on another planet here. Like,
In it. What do you guys think? Do you have anything to add to that, or?
I'd say it's like, I think like what you guys have been saying is that because everyone's been like locked up for like 2 years, it was definitely like not as like people weren't like some people were like very wary, like everyone said, but then there's been like people are like a lot more like trying to get to more gigs. So it's kind of like a thing where like it's good that more like people are trying to get out more and like go to more local gigs and stuff, but then it's kind of like you've said where people kind of forgotten how to do it in like a kind of respectful way, where it's like everyone's like turning up and just getting like fucking smashed all the time, like, oh, I can go out now, fuck it. And it's just like you can just like go to lots of gigs just to like enjoy the music. So I guess it's like you said, like a double-edged sword of like people are trying to get out more, but people should try and be a bit more like respectful to everyone trying to just like go out and enjoy the music and stuff.
I've definitely had to remind myself a couple of times to be like, oh wait, I don't have to get right in it like the whole fucking time. It's like, I don't have anything to catch up on, like, it's okay, it's fine.
also after every gig, it's like, okay, guys, are we gonna have COVID? Like, do you think we have COVID? We're like, we've just been at a festival and then another festival straight after, and I'm like going back into work on a Tuesday morning, like
Boomtown, and it's like, why is this test negative? I feel like I'm dying.
You're like, no, I actually do have COVID, but all of my COVID tests are telling me I don't have COVID. I'm ringing work like, look, I've got all this symptoms. And they're like, you do, you're negative. And I'm like, no, but I feel COVID. I feel it in my bones. Like,
in it. Yeah, no, and Boomtown was mad. I was hocking up like dust for weeks, mate. It was fucking grim.
It's like concrete.
Grim. Oh, it's so minging, mate. It was so minging.
cement mixer in your own throat, like.
In it. Yeah, it was a bit wild. It was a bit wild. But obviously, we as me with my collective Riot Garden, we have collaborated before with our lovely gig that we did in Nottingham with Vagina Witchcraft, which was fucking mint. It was lovely, wasn't it? Really, really nice vibes, and yeah, like it would be great to do more of those kind of things. But obviously, me being part of Riot Garden and you guys at MENSTRUAL CRAMPS, we share a lot of the aims in terms of changing things within the punk scene and the music scene and whatever, you know, in terms of making it a more kind and considerate and representative scene where, you know, women and people of colour and LGBT people and trans people and neurodivergent people feel more represented and safer, you know, and that's really nice, you know, to collaborate with these kind of things. And I just want to kind of get your opinion. I'm sure it feels like a bit of a broken record at this point, but how do you feel that women and gender minorities are treated within the punk scene? And have you noticed any change, positive, negative? What do you think?
I think it depends, like, where you are, like what area you're in, and also who's putting on the gig, who else is on the lineup. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like even sometimes we play in Bristol and it's like absolutely fine, like no issues, like it's so diverse, loads of people are there, and then it's like randomly you play one gig in Bristol in a venue you've literally played all the time, and then it's like just all white men and they're all staring at you like, huh.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh, we're headlining this. This is a bit random. Do you know what I mean? It's all a bit like, it really, really depends on the situation. Like, I don't know, I think people are trying a bit more. Well, I mean, I don't know necessarily in general, but where we play, I think are trying a bit more.
Surrounded in like the inclusive aspect of the scene that we want to be part of. That sometimes we get really comfy and then we get to like another gig and we're like, oh shit, like actually a lot has to be done. Like,
This this is a bit of a weird vibe. This isn't what we used to anymore.
Well, this is the thing, like with Riot Garden, so we're trying to go around the country at the moment to kind of like spread the good word, basically. But like it's been really odd because part of it, you're like, I want to bring in as many people as possible, challenge views, you know, talk to people, and be a bit fucking aggressive, you know, whilst also being kind to the people who need that safe space. But I don't know about you guys, me personally, I sometimes get so worn down with having to teach people. It's a bit like, okay, well, me, you know, as a woman in this scene and, you know, queer and whatever, it's like I've got enough fucking shit going on. Personally, it's like I don't always have the capacity to be able to teach people, even though you feel like you have that responsibility. And I bet you guys get that quite a lot as well, you know, and it can be really hard being in the scene and feeling like you have to constantly be a mediator and a teacher and put your own fucking trauma to the side.
It's like, especially after a gig, it's like we've literally just said everything on stage, like listen to our fucking lyrics that I'm fucking singing to you and shouting at you.
Or during a gig, Medway.
Or during a gig, where people try and stop me in the middle of a gig, like, keep politics out of it, like we're just here to have a good time.
Just play the song and just like
and I'm like, literally we were played at Medway Pride gig, right?
It's like a sea of queer people. And if you had to be like, who is straight in this room? And who is the two people that go, excuse me, I disagree, but, and then you're just like,
This
like,
isn't your time, mate.
No. And I literally, it was like so bad. It was like just before my last song, Idols, and it was like, obviously we always say a spiel about it, and it's like an important thing, we always end on it. And it's like, stop piping up. Like, this ain't your fucking time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll have a cigarette after, come and chat to me, whatever. If I fucking want to, because sometimes I don't want to. I'm piping up, and then the fucking security guard starts piping up, like, oh, sing your little song, sweetheart. I don't care about politics. This isn't a debate about domestic violence. And I'm like, actually it is, because that is my lyrics. And it got so bad, it was like these two guys who just like wouldn't shut up, including the fucking security guard. He was like, get on with your job. It's like, get on with your job, you're supposed to be on the door. And I literally was like, do you know what? I'm getting paid money to be here and fucking headline Medway Pride, and like, I'm not doing it. I was like, we're not playing the last song, actually. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, fuck you, fuck this place. Like, I'm not doing it. And I just walked off stage, I didn't play. I was like, no, we're done. That's it, that's the end of our set. You're not listening to it.
And I think that makes quite a lot of a statement, like silence as well, makes a really big statement. And yeah, I think like you should feel no responsibility to fucking educate people if they're not willing to listen, because the thing is, it's kind of like they have to make that step to want to listen first. You don't have to fucking be here, you know, no one asked you.
We were like, don't come to our gig, like don't listen, like literally leave. And they were like, you can't tell people to leave our venue. And I was like, yes I can, like, what? Don't listen, I don't want you to listen to me, like, it's my prerogative. I'm literally here on stage, like you've paid me to be here. Surely I can like tell people you need to leave. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing your job if you're not kicking these people out.
I mean, sometimes I do think that is good, because it means that you're actually bringing in people that aren't just allies, you're not just preaching to the converted. It's like maybe those people will go back after their gig months later, maybe they'll see another band that will make a similar statement, and actually they might go, oh fuck, maybe like I did fuck up, and that's good, you know.
Sometimes we are in that crosshair where we're like, we're on the like queer lineup, there's loads of women and trans people, and it's really chill, and like you said, you're just like preaching to the converted, and then other times we're on the like straight white dude lineup, and everyone's like, what's going on here? And you kind of feel like there must be a middle ground somewhere, but I feel like like you said, they are trying, but I think it's also just the types of people that go, or the promoters, like there is like a weird crossover, but sometimes you're just like, well, everyone doesn't know what's going on here, and we have to tell them, and then you do end up talking to a lot of people at the end where they're like, I appreciate what you were saying, I think I should go home and Google it. You're like, yes.
Yeah, exactly, and that is good. It's like making the positive steps, you know. It's
people after a gig like will come up and ask us loads of questions. I'm like, oh, I didn't know about this. Like, oh, what do you mean when you said about this on stage? And it's like, okay, fine. Like, I'll explain it to you, and then go and do your own work now. Like we've done.
Do a zine. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Give a leaflet.
Frequently asked questions after a menstrual cramps gig.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, actually. Good work. Well, that leads me on quite well to basically just the last kind of question is, what do you guys have planned next? Any shows, festivals, things that you want to shout about, or people you want to collaborate with? Anything basically. What's the plan?
So we've got October off, which we need. And then November we're playing a gig in Bristol with Erotic Secrets Pompeii. What else have we got in November?
The 25th of November, we're playing with Cynic Tones. So that should be a fun one.
Yeah, they're pretty
And
good.
we've got one in December as well. Are we allowed to talk about that one yet? Is that like? Is that cool? Okay, we're doing a Stars in Their Eyes set.
It's gonna be so
And
fun, oh my
It's gonna be
God.
very fun. It's gonna be really good. So we've got those with like
It'll
sort
be
of.
our best gig ever.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mad one. We're sort of quieting down on the gigs, and I guess like we've got those three, and then I guess it's like sitting down writing stuff and hopefully getting that out.
Yeah.
Do you want to collaborate?
Yeah.
Yes. Bob Villain obviously is making moves at the moment, so that'd be fucking sick. Bob Villain, please, we love you.
I'll message you on Instagram, Bob.
I don't know.
And Guts. They're an amazing band from London. They're like a saxophone punk band. I think we want to collab with them. There's loads of people. We'll just keep the rest.
Keep it a bit secret. Keep it a bit
Never
secret.
happen, but this is just what we want. So
It's good. It's a good way to get it out there.
Manifestation, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. That's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming in, having an interview with us, and you absolutely smashed it at Toxic Wotsit always. And so nice to see you all again. Yeah.
thank you.
That's okay. Yeah, let's do a big hug. Yay. Thank you. Cool.
It's good near that, see.